Our house has got the front door, a closet, the bathroom, and the garage door all clustered together. Above this area is a large open space that's not currently being used. I'd like to turn this into a library. In this video, we're going to be building the ladder to get up to the library. Sierra and I bought a whole bunch of lumber and brought it back to the woodworking shop at Google. The ladder's got 7 rungs, and the chop saw makes short work of cutting them all to length. Each rung is finished off by rounding over the edges with a table router. The stiles, or rails, of the ladder are the longest pieces of wood used in this project. At the top end is a pivot point, where the ladder can be pulled out from the wall. This end needs to be rounded off so that it can pivot freely. The other end needs to be cut at an angle so that it rests flat on the floor. A quick test fit, and here's the first problem. When the rungs are angled, the back corner hangs off beyond the edge of the ladder. So I set the bed of the bandsaw at an appropriate angle and sawed off the back corner of each rung. That's better. Next I drilled all the screw holes and countersunk each one so that the heads wouldn't stick out. I drove in the screws until their tips were exposed, then transferred their exact locations to each rung. That allows the pilot holes to be drilled in the right places. And finally, everything's ready to be assembled. Because I don't want this ladder to fall apart on me in the future, I'm using both glue and screws to keep it tight. The ladder was designed to be extremely solid, and it is. But in retrospect, I probably should have been thinking more about its weight, because it's quite heavy. The ladder will pull out from the wall, but as it does so, it needs to also drop down. So the pivot at the top needs to be a slot. I carved a couple of these slots in some 2x4s, then screwed them together using a piece of plywood. Sierra helped out with the painting. 1 coat of pre-stain, 2 coats of stain, and 1 coat of varnish. I used steel bolts to mount the top of the ladder to the pivot slot, then secured the entire assembly to the wall. Well, it didn't collapse on me, so that's a good start. Now we have access to the work area. In next week's video, we'll be building and anchoring the floor. See you then!